You know that incredible feeling when you reach into the pocket of a winter coat you haven't worn in years and you pull out a crisp $100 bill? It's the best, right? Well, what if I told you there's a digital equivalent to that, but on a massive scale? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going on a digital treasure hunt to uncover exactly how you can find and claim your missing money in New Hampshire for absolutely free.
Let's just jump right in and look at a seriously staggering number. Over $196 million has already been successfully returned to its rightful owners by the New Hampshire Abandoned Property Division. I mean, that's not just a rounding error. That is real, life-changing money that was literally just sitting in state vaults until someone exactly like you, took a few minutes to look for it. Every single day, the state is processing claims, creating these amazing little success stories for residents who honestly had no clue they were sitting on a financial windfall.
And what's really fascinating here is the sheer probability that some of that money actually belongs to you. Nationwide, 1 in 7 Americans currently has unclaimed property waiting for them. 1 in 7! That means if you think about your immediate family, your friends, your coworkers, there is a really high chance you or someone you know is owed money right now. It's incredibly common, yet so few people actually know how to go about finding it.
So here's our map for today's explainer. 1. The unclaimed money phenomenon. 2. Understanding NH property laws. 3. A step-by-step search guide. 4. Claiming your found money. And 5. Beyond NH, federal searches.
Section 1. The unclaimed money phenomenon.
Section 2. Understanding NH property laws.
To really master this treasure hunt, we have to understand the legal framework that's actually protecting your assets. The state doesn't just randomly decide to take your money. There's a highly structured legal process designed to keep your assets safe from just being absorbed by whatever corporation originally held them. Under New Hampshire RSA 471C, the state uses a model called custodial escheatment. Now, I know it's a pretty fancy legal term, but what it actually means for you is that the state is just acting as a perpetual safe deposit box. They're holding your money safely forever. They never take ownership of the assets. Honestly, generations from now, a family member could still claim it with the proper paperwork. The clock literally never runs out on your rightful property.
So the crucial thing to know here is the dormancy period. This is exactly how long an account has to sit completely inactive, meaning zero deposits, zero withdrawals, not even a phone call to the institution before a business is legally required to hand it over to the state treasury. Wages and payroll checks, those are turned over after just 1 year. Stocks and dividends take 3 years, while your everyday checking and savings accounts take 5 years of total silence before they're transferred over for safekeeping.
Now, you might be wondering, how in the world do people just forget about their money? Well, it actually happens way more easily than you'd think. People move and forget to give a forwarding address, they change jobs and leave a final paycheck behind, or maybe a relative passes away and leaves a bank account no one even knew about. These funds usually come from super common, everyday financial situations. We're talking forgotten checking accounts, uncashed rebate checks, life insurance proceeds, and even intangible assets like dividends. And here's a wild fact. If you abandon a physical safe deposit box, the state doesn't actually keep your physical items. The bank auctions off the commercial contents, and the proceeds from that auction are what gets sent to the state as unclaimed cash.
Section 3. Step-by-step search guide.
All right, let's get into the actionable stuff. Searching is incredibly easy, and it really only takes a few minutes. You just go to the state's official portal at findnhmoney.gov. Start by entering your last name or your business name. If you have a super common name, you can totally refine the search by adding your first name, a specific city, or a zip code. Quick pro tip for you here, cast a wide net. Try variations of your name, try maiden names, and definitely plug in your previous zip codes. If your name pops up on a match, you just hit Continue to File Claim to kick off the recovery process.
Section 4. Claiming your found money.
Okay, so your name popped up on that database. Congratulations, you actually found treasure. Now here's exactly how you pull it out of the state's custody. You're going to use the state's fast digital upload portal to submit your ID and proof of address. But, and this is a big but, you have to follow their formatting rules strictly to avoid any annoying delays. First, locate your numeric claim ID. It's right up there in the upper left-hand corner of your claim form. Make sure every file you upload is under 10 megabytes, stick to standard formats like PDF or JPG, and absolutely make sure they are not password protected. Oh, and if you're taking a photo or scanning a document, crop the image tightly to get rid of any useless white background. Once you successfully submitted your claim form and uploaded those perfectly formatted documents, you just need to take a breath and be patient. The typical processing time is about 60 to 90 days before your funds are fully recovered and actually returned to you. Just keep in mind, simpler claims might fly through faster, while complex ones, like those involving estates or probate, might take just a little bit longer.
I need to pause right here and give you a really important warning. You have to be incredibly careful of predatory scammers who pose as recovery services. Remember this, the state process is always 100% free. You should never ever pay an upfront fee to some third party to claim your own money. If someone calls you demanding a fee or asking for your social security number over the phone to release your funds, hang up immediately. It's a scam. Always stick to the official.gov websites.
Now, to be completely transparent, there is exactly one tiny exception to the free rule. If your unclaimed property involves complex securities, like shares of stock, and the state has to physically liquidate them or re-register them into your name, they will deduct a small, nominal $30 processing fee. But for your standard cash claims, checking accounts, or uncashed checks, the whole shebang remains entirely free.
Section 5. Beyond NH. Federal searches.
So what if you haven't lived in New Hampshire your whole life? Or what if you have federal assets floating around out there somewhere? The New Hampshire database only holds property reported within the state, but you can easily expand your treasure hunt beyond state lines. First stop, head over to missingmoney.com. It's an absolutely incredible free site run by the National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators that lets you search multiple states all at once. Next, check treasurydirect.gov to see if you have any lost or matured U.S. savings bonds that have just stopped earning interest. Also, if a previous employer went out of business, you definitely want to check pbgc.gov for forgotten pension plans. And finally, if you've ever paid off an FHA-insured mortgage, check the HUD database for potential premium refunds.
Think about this for a second. Since we know that 1 in 7 people are owed money, I highly encourage you to search not just for yourself, but for your friends, your family members, and even deceased relatives. By spending just 5 extra minutes typing their names into findmoney.gov or missingmoney.com, you could literally make someone's week or even their entire year with a surprise financial windfall. Plus, it's a pretty great excuse to reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while, right? Just a quick wrap-up note before we go. Please remember that this explainer is strictly for informational purposes. Laws and procedures can and do update, so you should always verify the legal details directly with official government sources like the New Hampshire State Treasury. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Knowing that billions of dollars are just waiting to be claimed nationwide right this very second, are you going to let your hard-earned money sit in a state vault, or are you going to go out there and claim what is rightfully yours? Happy hunting!